Scared of what? A speech contest? I tell you what scared is. I was 4 years old in the kitchen in front of my aunt and mom. You think this is tough? That was a tough evaluation because there was blood on the floor. That made me scared. But here's the thing about fear. We just have an uncomfortable relationship with it. See, it's okay to be scared, but you've got to be scared of the right thing. Some of the best things in life happen when you're afraid. But I'm not talking about irrational fears, like waving at someone who wasn't waving at you. Or clapping now when the speech isn't over yet. Or maybe you've got a fear of awkward silence. Maybe that's why we keep talking so much at Toastmasters meetings. Here's the thing about fear. We seem to like feeling scared during Halloween, horror movies, roller coasters. But any other time, we're afraid to be scared? Maybe because fear has defeated more people than anything. Think about the fear of being judged or chief judged. The fear of change. For me, it was a fear for my life. I was 4 years old, sleeping in the living room. At 2 o'clock in the morning, there was this loud bang, bang, bang. That's when my stepfather went to answer the door. As he turned the knob, 2 men pushed their way in, forced him to the back. Anxious, I got up and I peeked behind the corner of the wall. And that's when I saw them rip out the telephone. And I heard my mom scream. And I was so scared that I hid underneath the pillows of the couch. And I shut my eyes so tightly that I fell asleep. Next morning, that's why I was in the kitchen. My aunt talking to the police. My mom in the corner, frozen in fear. Blood on the floor. My stepfather was murdered. The men who did it were never caught. So we were too scared to stay there, but too poor to leave. It was because of the police report that we were moved to a new neighborhood. But it had the highest murder rate in New York. I know, isn't that all of New York? Just Brooklyn. I was so scared that I slept with a bat next to my bed. One night, when someone was trying to break in, I worked up the nerve to see who it was. When I got there, they were gone. I went to my room thinking, I don't want us to live like this anymore. Have you ever been in a situation that terrified you? When I was 18, I went to look for a job to support me and my mom. The only thing I could find was a late night shift that I was scared to take because I didn't want to leave my mom home alone at night. I asked my Aunt Grace for advice. She said, Marky, you're so brave to admit you're scared because it's okay to be scared. But what scares you more? Leaving your mom home alone at night or never getting out of that neighborhood? And when she put it like that, I had no other choice, right? So I took the job, and even though I would get home at 2 in the morning, creak open the door to make sure mom was okay, I went to work every night because fear gave me an option I never considered. And even though it took years, I made the money so we could move to a better neighborhood in Brooklyn. Now I ask you, when it comes to something you're afraid of, are you scared for the right reason? We all have something that terrifies us. But have your fears tricked you into believing that there's only one option, to do or not to do. But that's not the question. I know, to be or not to be, that's the question. This is not a class in Shakespeare. This is a speech about fear being an option. It said, fear is not an option. Wrong. Fear gives you an option to choose something else to be more afraid of. So what scares you more? That's the question. Is it something that scares you or something that does not scare you? Some people are so scared of what might or might not happen that they might not do anything to make things happen. Like, maybe you're scared to give that speech because your evaluator might be Mark Brown. But some people are so scared of what has happened in the past, scared that it will continue to happen in the future, that they use that fear to inspire them in action by choosing something else to be more afraid of. What scares you more? I have a good friend. Her daughter's in a difficult situation, so she separated the grandkids. But then she asked, what scares you more? Bringing them back together, or the kids never seeing their mom again? What scares you more? Hundreds of years ago, well, maybe 100 years ago, Ralph Smedley had reasons to be scared of starting Toastmasters. What if no one shows up to a meeting? Then again, what if no one gets over this fear? Ask yourself, what scares you more? Fear is that powerful. Use your fear as a source of power and choose something to be more afraid of. Because when you take that option, you can wave at anyone you want or stand up here and say what you want because you'll have the right reason to be scared.